Here we go, guys.
Hello there, Skydra, Deanna. Good to see you. Very happy to catch the live stream. Yes, we are so happy to have you here as well.
Christine Love, Dave Lewis, good to see you, brother. Kyle, great to see you as well. Ray, hope everything is going well.
I know. Ray always says, "What's up, gang?" Like on Scooby Doo. Oh, I love Scooby Doo. Hey, what's up? Hey, Ray, you must be like Shaggy. You must be the Shaggy. And Rama is the Scooby, because you know how Rama talks. Yeah, he's like that. Good to see you. So here we go from a 2Z to V. Brian J, good to see you. Hello there, Sir Ron Simpson. Miss Dana Green, hello, Caught-a-Lot. Yeah, you did catch us, didn't you? Isn't that great?
Yes, so good to see everybody. I hope everybody's having a good weekend, and I hope you've just enjoyed the weather, no matter what it is. It is 93, feels like it's 100% humidity, so man, we did some work outside in the morning, and then we went back out again and just got totally drenched. It's like so thick you could almost swim through it.
I know, it was super thick. It was awful. Hello there, Max. Hello there, Miss Susan Donahue. Great to see you. Can a memory hold author get a shot? I don't know what that means. So
that's Max. Max is an author.
Are you the author, Max? Yes, Max is an author. So yes, there is your shout out. And Max, you're totally awesome. So we like to support people where we can. And indeed, you got your shout out there, sir.
Yeah, great to see everybody. It is just another day here in the realm, the crazy realm that it is. And it's being revealed every day a little bit more about just how crazy it truly is. That meteor, that really stirred a lot of people up. And not just the one in Massachusetts, the one, again, they call it a meteor, the airburst, that boom. Again, there's been video of it in Boston area. That really did trigger a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people now that are looking to the skies a little nervous. Think about what we got going on here. We got these mysterious booms. We have June 12th, right? 12 days, you're going to have the follow-up to Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Oh my gosh, Steven Spielberg's, 40 plus years to get a sequel, 40 years or so to get a sequel to one of the biggest movies of all time. Why wait till right now? I mean, seriously, why wait till right now? It just kind of lends credence to the fact that we're in a reality that's a construct that's been arranged in such a manner to keep people asleep until it's time to wake them up. And then when the wake up comes, it might be very shocking.
I know, and what if, what I'm really hoping it's not? I'm really hoping it's not a dud. I mean, do you guys think that there could possibly be any way on the planet Earth that this upcoming movie could be a dud? I don't know. I hope not. But it is a build up to something more. Even if the movie's a dud, that does not change the fact that we are in like the biggest disclosure section of our lifetime. I mean, all of us are a part of this chapter. Can you imagine being alive during disclosure with all the rounds that we go and all the different yugas and all the different civilizations that have risen and fallen? We are the ones here for the disclosure. I mean, if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, yeah, it's pretty amazing to be here on that timestamp.
Yeah, and he literally, as Susan was saying, Spielberg literally said it's true. So, I mean, it's time to let us know. It's been an illusion. They've kept us in the dark, and why now? Why now? I would say it's that there's some big events scheduled. There's some things scheduled that are kind of beyond our control, and they have no choice. So they would rather, I think, get us prepped, but give us, again, a script to follow along with.
I know. Will says it's the Cynthia and Michael's reality show. Yes, this is our reality and your reality. And And I don't know, not a whole lot of others agree with us, but here we are. Here we are all together. There we go. Hello, Bob Hawk. Good to see you. Good to see you, Dan Fulgrams. Oh goodness, greetings from Arizona. I know I miss that desert. Some days more than others. Like today we have a lot of extra greenery, and boy, it was hot outside, and the humidity. It was like you walk outside and that's your sauna right there, and just gosh, 5 pounds drops like that.
Yeah, we're torn, because we love this area. We really do love this area. It's the perfect area to homestead and all. But there is a peace out there in the desert. There's just something about it. It's like next level peace. And I guess as you get a little older, you certainly enjoy peace. This was the first video we did today over on Heart's Own, a declassified CIA document that changes everything we were taught. Again, Heart's Home's the newest of our 3 channels. It has 3.12 thousand subscribers. If you aren't subscribed, please do go over. We do have different, totally different playlists over there. A lot of different stuff of a spiritual nature, but we also go into the nature of reality itself. And, this document, it says it all. So, yeah, each one of us are having our own reality show. And I'm looking at this one, healing session with biofield tuning. We've had so many people that have utilized this on a regular basis. Do check it out. It can definitely help you get through a tough day and get to a new place. So they say this explosion was equal to about 300 tons of TNT. 300 tons, a 3-foot rock. Apophis is like the size of the Empire State Building. Well, it's that tall, but it's even bulkier. Boy, that would be very explosive.
Oh wow, what do we think about that? Yeah, daylight meteor.
That was the one in Boston.
Yeah, and we did, our family members that we heard from. I mean, scared. Like, this is not okay. This is definitely not okay. And really, we saw some other anomaly things. We don't know if they were related, but like some very, very large trees dropping over and just being completely uprooted in the very same area. Not exactly sure about the time, but that perked my ears, because I don't think we all know really what we're dealing with exactly. We know what the media is saying, but how often have they sort of stretched the truth, told a lie, a blatant lie? I don't know. How could I count the ways?
Yeah, and so Max had asked, what's his face? Because that face sticks out. That's the liver. You hold anger in the liver, so you need to release the anger. Like if you're having liver issues, it usually shows that there's some perhaps anger management problems. And so there are ways to release that energetically. Actually, when you get down to it, all cures are of an energetic nature, really emotional nature. As this is a reality that we are all having our own unique experience, and we've seen a lot of things go up in flames. This is a recycling center near Montana, going up in flames. Just seems like somebody is out there starting a lot of fires.
A lot of a lot of fires, and just happens to be at another recycling place. And it's my understanding, when we had the leak at that chemical plant there in Garden Grove, California, people are finally waking up. They are finally realizing, hey, we don't want this stuff in our town, but everyone's been asleep for so long because nothing bad has happened. But everything that is set up, it's just a ticking time bomb. Eventually something is going to happen. Parts wear down, things break, people sabotage things, and that's where we're at. So I kind of feel like sabotage is at the top of the list, and it's very, very deliberate. They want to get us on, this wheel that they can control us even further, and it's really horrible.
Yeah, Karma Doc had said she had a airplane doing circles around her farm today.
Oh no! Wow.
Yeah, that always makes you wonder, what are they doing? Are they releasing something? Watch out for those little things that bite. Just saying. But, again, I saw that they were going to release a whole another batch of mosquitoes again. I think California and Florida, they've done that before. Of course, they have all their cures for all the tick-related things that are coming out just in time, which I will never, ever use, any of them, ever. I only trust nature. That's just the case. Nature, energy work, diet, boosts the immune system, detox, fasting, all those things. It's kind of, for us, most things are just kind of go down the same list. You do the same sort of things because it's all about helping your body overcome.
Well, yeah, I mean, you do the things and you do the things again, and eventually if you need help, you ask for help and you can get help. But it's really important. When I was going through all of my issues, I didn't realize that there were other healing modalities out there, and that's what I'm on a mission to help people realize. There's a lot of other ways to heal. I really feel like if I knew all the other healing modalities out there, I would not have had to go through like a 25 year long period of my life where I was hoping that somebody could actually help me. I mean, the help resides within me. I'm my own doctor. I'm the one who has to do the work. I have to do the legwork. I can ask for help, but I need to know me. I need to know where I'm doing. So I do all my own research, and that way when I go see, and I've gotten into the habit too, if I do go out and see a doctor, I make my own notes. And I'm ready. You have to be your own advocate. You have to. You can't expect somebody else to take on that task. It's not fair, and it's our responsibility.
This is going viral at the moment on X, and it's showing the Gulf of Mexico / America on fire. Some people have said that this is actually going back to 2021, but recognize that we've sabotaged ourselves. we've allowed the system to sabotage ourselves with the choices that have been made. When they applaud when he says "drill, baby, drill," I think, gosh, you're all idiots. I mean, seriously, don't you know that, we've been so set up with energy choices that purposely pollute, purposely toxify, and that's also going to get an immune system response from the earth itself that's going to end up causing more damage to us. So this is the way it works. It's like the earth is a being with a body. When your body has an infection, the white blood cells come out and do their thing to eradicate the infection. On Earth, it could look like earthquakes and tsunamis. And so everything has just been totally lined up against us, completely purposefully, and then sold to us.
Really, as above, so below. So we can look at our own bodies like this. Earth is going to be pushing back. She's definitely going to be pushing back. And while I'm here, I want to, Doc, Karma Doc sent me some information about castor oil. And although I do castor oil on my stomach at night and my liver, so important, get that stuff in your belly button. I just love castor oil. It helps so much. It can calm the whole nervous system, and it helps expel all of those things. So it's like Earth, eventually she's going to get her some castor oil in her belly button. And well, after that, then there's going to be a whole cascade of healing going on. And a lot of times when you see real healing, it's not very pretty. It's actually can be traumatizing, and it can look ugly. But you know what? On the other side of that, it's worth it.
Yeah, Dan, I like that post. Back in the old day, my ancestors would pray for the correct medicine. Often a dream or a vision would lead to the remedy. I don't participate in Western medicine that often, but to each their own. Very well said, and agree totally. Look for clues, look for messages, look to your dreams, look to your vision. This is why we do what we do, and every day, Qigong, meditation, paying attention to dreams. Often, they can be critical info. for you to understand.
Processing information is really important, and I tend to have reoccurring dreams, and when I work through those dreams, then I'll have the same dream again, but it'll be slightly different. So to me, that's deep in my subconscious. It's something in my cells trying to work through stuff. But yeah, pay attention to those dreams, and if you forget, just tell yourself before you go to sleep, I want to remember my dreams. Tell yourself, talk to yourself, talk to your guides and angels. Say, wake me up at a point where I can write this down. And you'd be surprised at how much information you can get just by laying there talking to yourself.
And this is Mount Popo. We have a lot of volcanic activity going on, a lot of unusual activity going on. Isn't it curious too how often we see UAPs and UFOs and meteors heading in and around volcanoes? Yeah, it's really interesting. And then of course the legends from all around the world of these civilizations inside the earth. They're there. They're really there. And it very well may be that the first ones that we see are inner earth beings and beings from the ocean. That could be the first ones that we do see. These, oh wow, this is really pretty wild. It's kind of like a mud volcano situation, I guess, going on. This is in Mexico. I mean, can you imagine going out to your backyard and seeing it bubbling like that?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would cause some problems for me if I went out to my backyard and saw something like that. I'd probably be hitching up the trailer.
That reminds me of that, where was it? It was not far from where we were living. We were living in Rama, New Mexico, and we went to an extinct volcano. And we made a video inside the mouth of it. Yeah, there was also all those tunnels. Remember? There were tunnels.
It was really all over the place in New Mexico. New Mexico is just, I don't know, it's dreamy. I like it.
Yeah, there's a different vibe in New Mexico. It's pretty wild. But this is Mexico, and you got some interesting activity going on. Yeah, this is new. This is... So anyway, the authorities say, don't worry. It's just, it's a little off-gassing. It's just water. Nothing to worry about here. It's not like a brand new volcano is going to erupt underneath you. Just, I guess, some hydrothermal venting. Stay calm. No reason to panic. That's what they always say at the beginning of that horror movie, that sci-fi end of the world movie. But when you see stuff like this, doesn't it remind you of one of those movies starting? And thank you, Mr. Max Meeks. We appreciate your support. For the amount of suffering worldwide, surviving Atlanteans are cruel. Yes, that is so true.
Oh, thank you so much, Max Meeks.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Max. As Susan says, I don't think volcanoes are what we are taught. Well, maybe, there's an analogy between a zit and a volcano.
I'm sure there's analogies there somewhere.
Seriously, when you think about it, I think you could have an analogy there. Look at this one. I mean, it's spewing right in the yard. Somebody's making some tacos there in the kitchen. Dogs doesn't care, just as long as he gets some of those tacos. Not a geyser, just hydrothermal mud vents. Okay. But still, why all of a sudden? This is in Michoacan, too. Michoacan's actually where my family comes from, on my dad's side. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, this is very interesting. The remains of Melissa Casillas was discovered outside Taos. New Mexico on the edge of a national park by a hiker yesterday. She was a high-level assistant at the Department of Energy Los Alamos National Laboratory. She had disappeared last year in June. Her erased phones, plural, wallet, and car keys were left in her home in Rancho de Taos. Her car was parked outside and left. Cause of death has not been released. This does stink. My God, Taos is just gorgeous. That area is just wonderful. We couldn't find anything that was affordable for us in that area. Otherwise, we definitely would have probably settled in there. I mean, it just feels wonderful. This is just maybe the beginning of what's going on with the missing. We had talked about this, I think, the last live. Is it that they're being recruited to work on a 3-body problem type thing? Maybe she refused. Or is it something different? Here, let's listen to this one.
Good evening, New Mexico. Thank you so much for joining us here at 10 o'clock. Well, an almost year-long missing persons case has been solved, but now there are plenty of new questions. New Mexico State Police found remains near Taos, and after an investigation, state police then determined they were the remains of missing Los Alamos National Laboratory worker Melissa Casillas. NMSP says they found the remains of Casillas in the McGaffey Ridge area of the Carson National Forest. That ridge is not too far away from where Casillas was last seen. Investigators say a handgun was found next to her body. State police added, though, that the cause and the manner of her death are still under investigation. Now, last year, Casillas' daughter came home from work on June 26th to find her mother was missing. She was last spotted on surveillance video that same day walking down a road in Taos County carrying a backpack. But she had, according to reports, left her purse and a phone at home, and that phone had also been factory reset. Now, finding Casillas then became a topic of national discussion when the circumstances behind her disappearance started to match similar missing persons cases, including retired Air Force Major General William McCaslin, who went missing back in February. And then there's also Stephen Garcia. He was last seen in late August of last year. He worked at the Albuquerque branch of Kansas City National Security Campus. And then Anthony Chavez was retired when he disappeared in May of 2025. But he had also previously worked as a staffer over at Lanel, according to multiple reports. Police had previously stated that both McCaslin and Garcia are believed to have taken guns with them when they disappeared, but there have been relatively few updates since then on where they could be.
Wow. So, yeah, what do you think, guys? What do you make of this? And do you pick up anything on this? I mean, this is horrible. A gun found right next to the body. I like her energy. She feels like she was a nice person. This is Carson National Forest is just beautiful, and it's vast too.
I know what I want to hope. I want to hope is it just the continuance of maybe a cover up. Maybe it's not her or something, or maybe this is not real. So that's the direction I want to go, because when things get so dark, so sinister, it's hard. You don't want to look at it and not to sweep things under the rug, but I think we need to just consider all things.
Yeah, and so now that they got a body and they identified it and they say it's her, then that changes some of it, doesn't it? I mean, to me, it makes it less likely that they're working underground on something, This is from the family. We can confirm the remains found in Rio Chiquito are Melissa's. There will be more information to come, but what we can tell you now is she was located in an area previously searched. There's a lot to process. Our hearts are heavy and fully I wonder if the body was placed there after the search.
Maybe she just wouldn't play along.
I mean, was she abducted and then re-dropped down again?
I mean, I kind of have a feeling she wasn't going to play along, period.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, this is really, really sad. So that's one of them. One of them. She was missing since June 26th, so maybe they almost placed the body there exactly a year later, right? Because, well, almost, not quite, next month it would be. Um, yeah, and we don't know if she was shot. They found a gun there.
And it's all over the world. Here, Renee is saying there's missing. Renee is saying missing dead scientists in China. Yeah, everywhere. It's this is global. So what's up with that?
Well, there's a lot coming out that they don't want coming out. And, this is really part of it. There's, that old thing like, you can't handle the truth. I don't think most people can. I really don't think most people can handle the truth that we've come to feel is what's going on here. Yeah, this is very, very sad. And, again, we send our condolences and positive prayers to the family and to her. Can you see her now? Her essence, her consciousness?
So when something like this happens and the family is just learning, there's a time period where you step back from the energy because it can be very chaotic and there can be a lot of things going on, and it's almost like a common courtesy. So you would step back from something like this, and not to dog anybody else, but I saw some people channeling Wilcox right after his death, and I don't think that's quite appropriate. But if they want to be channeled, they will come and find somebody right away. They really will. Right now I'm just feeling a lot of really bad vibes around the whole situation, and it feels like the family are very hurt. They're not in a good place, and that's why I want to give her privacy.
Absolutely. So, they've found the body. They haven't said what was the cause of death at this point in time, but they did find a gun there. So, very, very curious. In like 11 months in a week, just very odd. Just think about the timing of Three Body Problem disclosure coming out with the new Steven Spielberg film, all these things coming together at this point in time. We are certainly in a period of rapid change.
We are, and I just want to point out Karma Doc mentioned something, and when she mentioned something, I definitely listen. And where did it go? Gosh darn it, I had it. She was saying just give yourself plenty of space with the devices. She said, I think y'all need to have shielding at home and keep device time to a minimum. Now, the energy and the EMFs are getting more and more with the devices, the computers, the routers, and the way they've been trying to pump people full of the graphene oxide, and with these data centers coming up, I think there's something not too far around the corner, and that could be very bad. So definitely want to heed that warning about giving yourself space. So yeah, I don't have good vibes on this. Doesn't feel self-inflicted. Yeah, Karma Doc, I kind of feel the same thing. It feels really dirty. Honestly, it feels very dirty. Something that I don't want to look at right now. But there is a time and a place to take a look at these things. I think we should all kind of be on the lookout in a way, because we're all awakened beings, and I think we can be seen from very far away with our energy bodies. And even DARPA just coming out and saying they have a way to read and write in your brain if they want to, through nanoparticles that you breathe. What's up with that? I know it's been around for a long time, but it's just such an open forum now with all this information. I think we need to really listen, and I know it's it's hard out there right now. It's scary.
Yeah, and some of you noted her full name, Melissa Mondragon. Mondragon. Isn't that interesting?
Cool last name.
Cassius Mondragon. I guess that was maybe her maiden name, or I'm not sure. But that is an interesting reference. Just curious again. We send our best energies and wishes. So you have bombing low brings destructive winds, heavy rain, and coastal hazards, southwestern, western Australia. 80 plus mile an hour gusts. There's just so much going on right now as far as the weather. It keeps going up another level. And you have Typhoon Jagme intensifies south of Japan, heavy rain forecast for Taiwan and the Ryukyu Islands. So we'll watch on this one as typhoon is approaching and will be making landfall. I hope David Devine's doing well and all settled in and ready for the storm, because he's in Taiwan, which just had to let him know I didn't feel that Taiwan's the greatest place at this point in time, but again, every place is going to have its challenges.
Oh, I know every place is going to have their challenges, and not to bounce around too much, but Ray is saying she was 33 years old. Again, I don't think that that's any mistake. I wouldn't put it past these dark forces just to do that, just to make a point, just to say, see what we can do and scare other people into compliance. I think that's what it is. They scare people into compliance, and they even try to scare people into they've done horrible things to us to try to scare us into not making videos or getting us off our game so we can't make videos, and that really is something horrible that they just commonly do.
Renee O'Leary there. I've never seen a sci-fi film director come out and say it's some sort of disclosure. I mean, literally, like we said, the fact that he said that, and it's real.
Yeah.
When you look at the Sumerian tablets, there's so much there in the Sumerian tablets that give you the idea that the resets are well beyond humanity's ability to control them. And that things are, it's almost like Dr. Evil's island, where it's been rigged with all sorts of things to self-destruct in case their plans go awry. Will self-destruct, and whatever the date that's been put out there.
Jen's saying she was 53.
Oh, she was 53. Okay. Ukraine deliberately struck Europe's largest nuclear power plant. Now, this is the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which we talked about for years. This was part of Ukraine. Now Russia's got control of it. And they literally hit it again. These drones that are the number one weapon, it seems, of choice in this particular era of warfare. Why would in the world would anybody in their right mind try to hit and destroy a nuclear power plant, unless the bigger goal is simply destroying the human life on the surface of the planet? Then all these things make perfectly sense.
Well, what they've done with an entire generation or two is they've raised children up on playing video games, and getting that ability to be very precise with video games, so that when they are managing a drone from afar, it's just second nature to them. It's very, very easy. It's something that they could probably do in their sleep. They could be more precise. But yeah, this has been, they've been planning this stuff for a long time, setting it up.
Yeah, it's the synchronicities. Like Susan Donahue says that I met met Rowdy Piper right after he had filmed They Lived, and this was WrestleMania in Toronto. Think about what we do. It's all about exposing that the real controllers are not humans. They're not Homo sapiens sapiens. And fate had it that my friend that I was working with ended up getting 3 tickets to WrestleMania, and also he got everything for free because we took care of the vehicles for the WWE where I was working at that time. So they gave us everything regarding that trip and the hotel room, And so we went and shot up there, and because we knew, not Vince McMahon, but we knew right under him, the Garvins, personally, we got in and we got to meet all these people, and we were drinking beers, Molson's, if I remember right, up there in the Hard Rock Cafe with Roddy Piper, and he had a few, and he was telling me, yeah, you got to watch this movie because it's all real, and he was very, very convinced that it was real, and he said so afterwards.
How many years ago was that?
That was about 36 years ago, something like that. Yeah.
How old was he at that time?
He was in his early 30s, early mid 30s.
He died when?
He just died maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, he still died relatively young. I could pull it up. He was, I was impressed because I didn't like the character that he played, but in person, he was my favorite wrestler, and we met all of them. We were in Hulk Hogan's room and with his wife and kids, and we met Gorilla Monsoon and all these different people. Oh, he died in 2015, so he's been dead 11 years already. It just seems like time goes by fast. Yeah, very, very sad. In person, a really good guy. So yeah, he was 11 years older than me. Yeah, it was pretty wild. But he swore that the movie was like the most important movie that you could ever watch, and to definitely check it out. I had not watched it at that point in time. But yes, after that, I have watched it several times, and it's a cult classic for sure.
So I just, I look at consciousness and I look at timing, and I know that everything has purpose. And I think it's pretty amazing that all those years ago you ran into that person just to tell this story that you're telling now. I mean, it's pretty cool. Consciousness is a lot of fun. Yeah.
That part of it just blows me away when I look back in retrospect.
Like how important that moment was for now.
Yeah, that's the only thing I really take away from that. Not watching, Hulk Hogan against the Ultimate Warrior or any of that, or meeting any of the other ones. It was the meeting with Rowdy and the way he was just, who were we? We were just, three guys that he didn't know. And he just came up, slapped me on the shoulder, and, what you drinking? And just started talking. Why did he do that?
Yeah, yeah. There's got to be something there. It's that hidden hand, right?
Yeah, it is weird when you think about it. It's strange. And they live definitely very important. Now, this is really important. This is Ro Kahana. He says, I will be offering an amendment in the committee itself to strip Section 224 out. I guarantee you this, unless people react really quickly like we have been reacting with the data centers, this will get pushed through. And this is almost unbelievable. If the provision in the NDAA to integrate, synchronize the U.S. and Israeli militaries makes it out of the committee, I'll offer an amendment to strip it from the bill on the floor. We are a sovereign country. Congress quietly moves to integrate the U.S. and Israeli militaries. It's the first step towards shifting aid further into the shadows. 2027 NDAA would all but fuse the two countries' armed forces together. Basically, it will give Israel the biggest military in the world. Well, the most powerful military in the world. Think about this, because, again, it's been said that Trump is going to introduce the Antichrist. Some people have believed that that's his purpose, is to literally introduce the Antichrist to us. Which again may be extraterrestrial in nature, or it may be AI in nature. It could be maybe like something like, if you go back to Prometheus and David, he is a droid that is AI. It could be something like that. It could also be that it literally is like one of the fallen Pleiadians that we talk about, a tall white. Could be. Or it could be somebody that's totally genetically engineered from scratch in a lab somewhere. But when you look at the Bible and the center of everything in the end times, and again, that last book in the Bible everybody quotes about, it's all centered around Israel. Well, here you go. People have wondered, where's the U.S. in Bible prophecy? Well, some have said, well, it's destroyed already, and that's why it's not there. But what if the U.S. and Israel basically become one? Has anybody seen this coming?
This kind of here's what I'm, looking out into the world and picking up this high possibility that they're going to come up with something. We're probably going to kick and scream and we don't want this and this is not fair. And then all of a sudden they're going to have this huge threat. I keep going back to President Reagan's his speech saying, what if there was a otherworldly threat, and all of a sudden then we would want to come together. To me, that's where the deceit is probably going to come in and, create this otherworldly fear, so that we'll be like, oh, okay, well, we need a bigger army. We need a world army. Okay, let's all come together. It's just, this has been in the making for a very, very long time. Disgusting.
I didn't know no, we didn't watch the newer V series. I'm not sure where you could find that. But that would be curious to watch for sure. And we agree with you, Susan. Absolutely. So this is really scary stuff. Here you go, America, wake up. And I don't want to read what it's talking about, because I've seen just what looks to be just the worst atrocities you can imagine that are generating from the military force of that little country in the Middle East. And just, again, what happened to Gaza is beyond belief, except for the fact that we see what happened in Gaza happened around the world at different periods in time. Nothing but rubble. Nothing but rubble. And I think there are forces that would make the whole earth like that. And all the countries, we definitely have to be very aware of this, because this is a coup of the biggest type when you look at that.
Yeah. This is really getting yucky.
Yeah. We should not be a complete tool of any other country, and there's a lot of work to do. We need to change the whole way we look at things, but taking control of the most powerful military on the planet, that's quite a coup. That is quite a takeover. And this is talking here also. This is a former IDF Unit 82 member. I have not listened to this one yet, but I'll play.
Merge in some of the emerging fields of warfare, most importantly in AI, the capabilities. And it's very dangerous, because if it gets built into the system early, it could be almost impossible to disentangle US and Israeli AI capabilities. And this will continue this trend of the United States fighting wars and doing missions for Israel, because one of the main reasons that this is possible is because the U.S. military views the IDF as almost an auxiliary. And this has been ongoing since the memorandums of understanding between Israel and the United States in the 1980s under Yitzhak Shamir and Reagan, that's when this integration began. And this is an attempt to move that into the AI era. And if this happens, we're going to see more wars that involve Israel and the United States. And
well, so that, terrifying. Yeah, that's just, I don't think most Americans know that this has been ongoing.
No, I mean, I do see a lot of pushback coming, and what then? What then when people finally start saying, no, I'm not going to do it?
Yeah, I think you're on the verge of a few triggering events, and you literally could have a civil war breaking out. inside the U.S. And I do think that we're getting really close. I do expect big events over the summer, really big events. Even will Trump make it through the summer? I have my doubts. I really have my doubts. Again, when you look at it, though, we're always being offered the choice between two bad options. This is the reality of it, because the left and the right, they both suck. It's just, there's no more simple way of putting it. It's just, again, which mafia, which mob, which cartel is going to be dominant at that particular point in time.
Honey Badger 1775 says, I was a U.S. Marine. I don't like this. I would imagine, I bet you this is bringing up all kinds of stuff, not just for you, but everyone out there who could possibly get pulled and just directed to go do a thing that they are vehemently against. It just definitely doesn't feel good. But I'm sure you understand. You have another couple layers of understanding.
I had seen too, and I don't know if I could find it, but I had saw where U.S. tax dollars were basically going to be funding the retirement of certain people in that country.
Oh my God.
Literally, I think it might have been for the military too. Like, we were going to literally cover their retirements, their pensions, or what have you. I'll have to look it up for the next video again, but it would all make sense, if this is part of the goal, is fusing the two countries to effectively be one.
I don't see how it could be undone once it's done. I mean, how do you create a divorce after you fuse something like that together? Then it's just even a bigger mess.
It is, and Lebanon is getting pounded right now, and Lebanon's been, it's just, I send your prayers to people in Lebanon. Again, the use of banned substances is happening constantly. This says Al Jazeera confirms Israel illegally captured Beaufort Castle, UNESCO World Heritage Site in Lebanon. And they've destroyed a lot of World Heritage Sites too. They are doing to what they did in Gaza is being done to southern Lebanon right now. And ultimately, we know, it's all about creating greater Israel. Why are they doing that? Because they've been told to do that by non-human entities, really. That's the ultimate reality. That's the part that people are going to have a hard time understanding. But literally, again, there are beings that are manipulating all this from behind the scenes, and they're not us. They are not us. And again, you get countries that make deals and, to get technology to go and, be able to be the top country and dominate everything. And this makes the politicians rich. And you could see how corrupt it is. So, again, when you have these non-Homo sapiens running the show, and they tell you they need more capability for AI. Why? So that AI could control and run everything, making sure they could keep all the humans under wraps. You watch every single one of us, every single thing that you ever do, completely monitored. This is a new one in Indiana. Amazon's building an $11 billion AI data campus in Indiana. It'll use as much electricity as 1 million homes. This is all about putting humanity on lockdown when humanity no longer goes along with the system. Maybe they'll have enough drones to keep us all at bay.
Yes, the death care system. You guys keep that in mind. More things to come. I mean, it's true. It's that system has earned that. And I know a lot of people who really care about other humans and they like to try to help them. they look at the system with such disdain, and it's hard. It's really hard for those with a conscience to sit back and watch this, but we need those that are bridges out there, those that are walking in both worlds to help other people, to lead them across and show them that there's a different way. But yeah, the death care system, I mean, that's a problem. It's a problem. It's been a problem, and now it's starting to really show itself. And then I just wanted to mention KK had said something. She says Israel has free health care and pensions and free college. USA pays for it all while we go without, and our kids and grandchildren go without. And she says, I was shocked. I didn't believe it. So I went looking and was sickened and shocked. Yeah, I know. I mean, there's so much money. I mean, so much money. I mean, we just need a little bit to get by. We don't need that much. But it's like they have a free hose. I mean, the hose is just on for them. And they get as much as they want whenever they want. And if one of their kids has a problem, well, it's taken care of. They don't have any stresses. They don't have anything to worry about. It's just, whatever they need. And it's so wrong. And here we do. We struggle and we sweat and we worry. And, we can't make ends meet, and we worry about the bills, and we worry about our kids. And that's the way the story is going right now. It's very unfair.
Mm-hmm. This is putting out there that that ballroom is not really a ballroom. It's a cover for a Stargate Command underground data center, Palantir-style mass surveillance state. I wouldn't doubt it at all. I mean, there's something to it. And talking about portals and Project Stargate, well, we know what CERN is, and it's turned out that CERN is exactly what we always thought it was. So that golden dome that he had talked about too, there might be some connection between the data centers and the golden dome.
Well, to me, it's almost like a no-brainer. It's like, of course, that's what's going to be running the golden dome, and then they need us full of graphene oxide so that we can be completely controllable, and they can control our thoughts, and they can control our limbs and how they move. And I think right now it's just really important to let people know, if you're having thoughts and triggers and things going on in your life that don't seem normal, you could be being controlled. Really, really, really be careful with that. If you think you are, shut off all your devices, turn off your router, go sit alone and get grounded, and kind of find yourself for a minute.
Crypto Geezer.
Crypto, thank you so much, Crypto Geezer. We appreciate that. That's a very, very helpful. This is a very real thing that we're all kind of sitting in, and it's ugly, and it's hard to talk about, and it's no fun. But if you don't know, you don't know what you don't know. So if you suspect, get yourself grounded, and just be away for a bit, and don't allow those intrusive thoughts. Don't, if they're not paying any rent, get them out.
And of course, PFIzer, they already got something ready to roll, because of the tick situation. Yeah, we get it. I mean, actually, there's usually patents you could find. Sometimes they'll go back 10, 20 years before the thing becomes a big issue. But there's already patents there because they're already working on a cure for a problem that didn't exist at that point in time. I think that says it kind of all, doesn't it? Lauren Boebert just said there are a lot of mentions of stargates and portals in the secret UFO files that only Congress can see right now. She then asked if there's a breeding between humans and these alien creatures because of all the interdimensional traveling between the realms and other parts of the world. We do know there has been a forced breeding program forcing criminals to breed with aliens at certain facilities in Mexico and potentially other places in the world right now. This is all a repeat of the Titan gods and their Nephilim offspring mating with mortals that we saw in the Book of Enoch, Book of Genesis, the whole thing. It only gets darker as more declassified info comes out. It's just the timing.
And in today's world, that's really something. But even in these, even in some of the documentations that I'm seeing, there's a lot to do with even portals. And I'm interested in more information of that coming out as well. But even to be in a congressional hearing and to have enough information to ask the question, is there breeding between these biological beings and humans? There's a there that needs to be answered. And I got a lot of heat from local papers at home and some folks, but we're just asking the questions. If someone is going to come to congressional offices and say that they have seen it, that they have been a part of it, and are read into these programs, then it's worth an investigation. And all of these agencies, even the contractors, when they are too big to answer to government, when they were too big to answer to Congress, the entity that created them and gives them funding, then it's clear that they're too big, and we have got to rein that in and have more accountability.
You know, what you started out with saying, that you had heard somebody saying that they believed in the government, or they believed in the alien program or disclosure before the government started talking about it.
So, it's just coming out of the woodwork everywhere you go. And then we have Stephen Greer. Let's listen to this one.
What happens is that the whole world is left with this false idea that all the horrible things that have been done under the name of aliens, abductions, mutilations, blowing up villages, weird creatures tearing off faces in South America, those are all human operations.
Yeah.
I've spoken to people in special forces who know those are all their operations. Beginning in the 90s, I had special forces and contractors describe what they were doing with this. So it can't be kept secret any longer that this has been going on. It's like other scandals that have come out in the past, right? That just at a certain point, the public will understand it and deal with it. But more than that, the people in government who are supposed to represent us, we the people, need to get those under control and stop it. And also, I have said to people, if they ever go into these black sites, the first thing they need to get and show to the public are the man-made aliens, the program life forms, the robotic gray aliens, the man-made craft that they're putting these creatures on and abducting people and staging bizarre events just to affect people's consciousness and make them afraid. Right. And this is the old game. You create a boogeyman. Any demagogue knows this. You just create a specter of fear, and everyone that wants to be protected, and they lose all reason. Their intellect and their spiritual faculties go out the window because they're in a fight or flight fear mode. And that part of the brain shuts off higher thinking. And so through fear and manipulation, the CIA psychological warfare operations, working with these various compartmented military and intelligence groups and corporations, have set this up and have been pulling this stunt for 60 years. That has to be stood down, but it has to be exposed. You cannot cover that up.
The part that I never hear him say is, just how much we actually do work with, reptilians and greys. Not that all the greys are not robotic. There are robotic greys, but much of the greys are the result of the cattle mutilations.
I got years ago with the cattle mutilations and taking of their cells and taking of, the flesh, the tissue that is being used to create more grays. And those grays are, yes, mechanical. Those grays do answer to kind of a hive mind. So when there are those nasty grays, when they come out to do something, the most frightening thing about them is they're going to just simply do as they're told because they're mechanical. And that's what does that mean? It means they have no sympathy. They don't care what you say. They don't care what they're doing. They just function. And it's very much just a knee-jerk reaction, what they do. Absolutely no emotion. And that's the horrible part about us, is we have a lot of emotion, And we need to control it, because if it's not controlled, it's being kind of taken advantage of, and it's being utilized, and it's also being studied. But if we have control of our emotions, we are not allowing that energy to go out and be used as loosh. Now, not all grays are horrible. I truly believe there is a timeline where we do end up as grays. I mean, look what they're doing to us. And I did have an awakening dream where there was a lot of grays, but they were good grays. They were teaching me about the world and how the world had gone through its cycles and everything that had happened. And I was in a classroom, and they were teaching me how to make rainbows with my fingers. And I think that very well, that those ones could have been us. But no, there's another mechanical kind. Mike's had a nasty experience himself, direct experience. And yeah, they can be very nasty, but not all of them. And thank you, Miss KK.
Thank you, KK. We love you and appreciate you. All you guys, we do. I've shared with you guys, I started Evolutionary Energy Arts in August of 2017, really right around the first of the eclipses. And I had a person reach out to me saying they were the Illuminati. I want to say that was November, trying to recruit me to go and work with them, even telling me that they would send me to Atlanta, a suburb of Atlanta, to train under somebody. I was at that point in time in Sarasota, Florida, and I told them no, not interested. They said that all your needs would be met. You wouldn't want anything. You'd have, the money and the resources that you could ever need. But I turned them down because I would never go that route. It's just not me. And then I had the door open to the house I was in, inexplicably in the middle of the night, woke up, went to go to the bathroom, noticed the light seemed different, and saw the door was wide open going to the backyard. I wasn't in the greatest neighborhood in Sarasota, and I always made sure I had the doors locked. I know I locked them. Always did. And then shortly after that, I woke one night because I felt something energetically go in about 2 inches below my navel, which is your lower dantian. That is your Jing storage point in the body for the more heavier, thicker, viscous form of qi. And that's where we store it. And this entity, I saw it clearly. I watched it for, I would say, 60 to 90 seconds. It was a tall, like this. It was a tall gray. The bedroom was like a little bit of a small mini cathedral ceiling. And it was stooped over because it would be up at the top of the ceiling. So I would say probably about 8 feet tall. And very thin. I mean, the arms were really thin. Its forearms were as long as my entire arms. I got a really good look at it. It broke contact as soon as it saw that I was awake. I startled it. And it just looked away from me. It immediately looked away and started to meditate, for lack of a better word. And it started to shift. I got to see how it literally shifted into a different dimension and left. And it looked kind of similar to Star Trek, with Beam Me Up Scotty. It just became an energy pattern. It was the figure turning into an energy pattern, and then the energy pattern was gone. And I would say it took more than a minute, but probably not 2 minutes. And then after that, I did run into bouts of not feeling quite myself, because I was actually feeling invincible health-wise at that point in time. And then the red tide came out and everything, and it was hard to deal with. And eventually I just felt like I needed to get away from Florida. Part of the reason why I've moved so much is because I've had many encounters and just did not feel safe living where I was living at that point in time. And then just had the urge to move on to somewhere else in search of a safer zone, because they've always kind of been there. They've always been watching.
Yeah, I mean, there's always this like unsteadiness when you do this and you're putting these things out there and teaching people how to heal themselves, and people really don't like that. We've been able to uncover some of this stuff through the years, helping people realize, because a lot of people, they don't even remember, they don't even know, and they have these weird traumas and they don't even know really where it comes from. Where do these triggers come from? Because the body does not forget. There's a really good book called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. So when you go through something, whether you remember or not, surgery, some kind of trauma that you blacked out, you blocked out, if you do not process that properly, it will stay in the body. Those emotions stay in the body. And that's why we work on helping to diffuse the liver, helping to diffuse the kidneys, because some of these things, they can't say that they're all bad, but a lot of people just don't remember them.
Yes, and I am Rh negative, as was my mother as well. Cindy's Rh positive, but she's also had a lot of experiences in contact, and both of us have had kids that have had contact too. So it goes along family lines, and both of our fathers also had contact and things ongoing. So it does seem to run in family lines too. It is part of what's out there as the normal procedure when they're watching you. Aliens equals demons. Well, some aliens also equal angels too, because you do have both. But I wouldn't say all aliens are demons, and I wouldn't say all demons are aliens.
And I'm just looking at these guys. What does one have a tail and the other one doesn't?
I wonder if he's jealous. I don't know.
Be jealous of his other tail.
You got all these amazing AI movies and things out there, little skits. But, I think we'll actually be seeing something like this in the not too distant future, probably all over YouTube.
Yeah, you're not going to get video out of Area 51 very easily. That place, all you have to do is stand kind of close to it. You can't even really drive around near Area 51 without government vehicles following you, because we did that. We tried that, and it didn't go well. And they will get a whole team of vans with black tinted windows after you, and they're very, very threatening, and it's not okay. So Area 51 is something to be taken very, very, very seriously.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and we did have a little plot of land right across from there. Yes, what's this guy doing? Is this a BS video, or is it really dropping something? I think a lot of things are being seeded. Earth was a seeded planet. Life was seeded here. Really, when you look closely at Genesis, that's what they're showing you. They're telling you, for one, there's two creation stories. It was here, and then it was blank and a void. Well, that is the truth. It was Tiamat. Tiamat was destroyed. Then it was rebuilt as Earth, and we are on that Earth that was at one point in time Tiamat. And when you look at some mountains and you think, that looks like a giant body, it really might be a giant body. There's been all sorts of entities here.
And I think we're going to go back to a time where we are going to be made aware of all these sorts of entities here in this 3D realm. And I don't think it's going to be too much longer. I know that we all already know, but there's a difference between knowing and talking about it and doing what we're doing now, and then actually seeing it.
Okay, a Russian engineer in 1925 placed a copper ring around a dying plant. The tumor disappeared. Every other plant in the experiment died. His technology was used in hospitals across Europe until he was killed in New York in 1942. His name was Georges Lahovsky. He proposed a theory so dangerous it had to be erased from medical history. Every living cell is a miniature oscillator. It vibrates at its own specific frequency when a cell is healthy. It vibrates at its natural resonant frequency. When it becomes diseased, the frequency drops. Cancer, infection, degeneration, all of them are frequency disorders. In 1925, Lahovsky conducted an experiment at the Salpêtrière Hospital in Paris. He inoculated geranium plants with cancer-producing bacteria. All the plants developed tumors. Around one single plant, he placed a single open-ended copper ring, 30 centimeters in diameter. Nothing else, no electricity, no chemicals. Within weeks, the plant with the copper ring shed its tumor completely, grew taller and stronger than it had ever been. Every other plant in the experiment died. The copper ring was acting as an antenna. It was capturing the full spectrum of cosmic frequencies and feeding them back into the plant's cells. The cells retuned themselves to their natural oscillation. The disease could not have survived in a cell vibrating at its correct frequency. He then built a multi-wave oscillator. It used two concentric antennas driven by a Tesla coil to generate a broad spectrum of electromagnetic frequencies simultaneously. The idea was simple: flood the body with every possible frequency, and each cell will naturally resonate with the one it needs to heal. By the 30s, his machines were being used in hospitals across France, Italy, and Sweden. Doctors reported recoveries from advanced cancers, severe arthritis, chronic infections. Patients who had been given weeks to live walked out of the clinics. He brought his technology in New York, began treating patients at a major hospital with extraordinary results. And then in 42, at the age of 72, he was struck by a car in New York City and died shortly thereafter. Immediately following his death, every multi-wave oscillator was removed from American hospitals. His research was labeled quackery. His name was deleted from medical literature. The man whose machines were healing patients in European hospitals for over a decade, hit by a car, erased from history within months. The frequency of healthy human cells is between 62 and 72 megahertz. When it drops to 58, cold symptoms appear. At 42 megahertz, cancer begins. At 25 megahertz, death. Your body is not a chemical machine. It's an electrical instrument playing a frequency. Disease is not an invasion. It's a cell that forgot its song. They did not silence Lakovsky because his science was wrong. They silenced him because a copper ring cost nothing. Chemotherapy cost $150,000, and it still kills. Yeah, this is the big realization. It's just, it's you could attribute much of this to the Rockefellers.
I know. And, what if we all just had our own little copper bed or our copper place where we could go stand in or sit in or even sleep in? Mike keeps wanting to talk me into putting a copper ring around the bed. It's not that I'm opposed to it. I just, I don't know how much copper that's going to take and what that's going to look like. Not that I really care about the looks or anything. I think it would be way cool, but then I'd probably want to make one for each of the dogs.
Look at this. Tesla's egg of Columbus. Pretty wild stuff. Again, it's all about frequency. Everything, it's frequency. Frequency is the key. It's all about frequency. So entrainment, like when we do energy work, we entrain people to a higher frequency. And this is why it's been so successful. If you guys feel so inclined, do check out Evolutionary Energy Arts. It is under construction right now. It's getting a revamping, and there's a lot that's coming, and it's transforming, and it still does have a lot of things, including testimonials. We've worked on people all over the world, every continent but Antarctica so far, and so you could see just a small fraction of the people that we've helped over there. So we invite you to check it out. Yes, this little guy, he's getting primed for a battle. He's ready to take on any alien invaders.
You guys, you have been so amazing. Thank you, everyone in chat, for all of your support in every way. Just want to say a huge thank you to Crypto Geezer, KK, and Max. We appreciate your support there. Very much appreciated. So,
Carmen put a link for magneticsleep.com.
Okay, look at that, magneticsleep.com. Check that out. We'll see. Magnetico bed, yeah, maybe we should do something like that. I don't think that could, don't forget copper peptide stimulation, and the LifeWave. Now, I did hear that the LifeWave link is a little bit moody, so if you don't get on, try another browser. But the LifeWave has been really wonderful for us. It's now part of our daily regimen, and it did definitely it really helps. It really, our energy is just great. It's fantastic. You already feel good, but then you do something like this and you feel even better. You're like, wow, this is a lot of fun. And the life wave works with your very own body, your own light. So it reflects that light right back into you. So it's yours. It's your body is waking up those dormant stem cells that start going to sleep about age 30. So you lose about 50%. So by the time you're 60, there's a lot of them that are gone, like a lot, like 90%. But when they start coming back online, over time, you start feeling better and better and better. So it's just been great.
We should be living hundreds of years.
We really should be. We really should be. And I am glad that a lot of these technologies, age reversing technologies, are getting bigger and bigger. And also Promo Life with the ozone, saturate that body with oxygen. And I think we have another live link that we haven't.
This will be the first video that shows up on
Okay, so we also have Aha Halo. We have a friend that tried that, and we tried it. We really like the Aha Halo, so we've affiliated with them as well. Scalar waves, and we did the negative energy clearing, and it was really effective.
Yeah, I want to tell you, Cindy's had this for 6 months at least, maybe 9 months, and I hadn't really used it, but I noticed when she uses it at night, it does help us to fall asleep right away. But it was really effective at getting, I really do think it helped my tick bites. I had 4 tick bites in like a day and a half, and they were oozing. And the response to the ticks was just dramatic, because I do think it was a combination of putting black seed oil where they had been bit, putting activated charcoal on the actual bite, and that physically pulling the toxins out. And meanwhile, I was running a program here to basically, it's like an anti-parasite program. I went through that, and then a deep relaxation program. It was pretty amazing. But all the links are going to be on all the videos going forward. You'll find on the Promo Life for videos for like a year. We've had the link up, and LifeWave maybe about 3 or 4 months now. Great products. I do think that's the thing. There is going to be really amazing, and there are really amazing new breakthroughs. Me personally, I'm not going to go with Rockefeller medicine. Just saying, that's me.
No, there's a lot of different things we can do now. So it's not the same as the intelligence of the human body, but it's something. Things are getting better. So, and we're going to do some dings for you guys. Also want to say thank you for all of your prayers that you've been putting out there for Lori and Steve, and for Carrie and everyone else. I know Xenomorphette, she's doing really good. She's recovering. We've had prayers for her, and anyone else who needs them. Here's the time. So we're going to do some dings and prayers for all.
And as always, guys, Loka Samasta Suki no Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May my own thoughts, words, acts, and deeds contribute to the happiness and the freedom of all. That is truly our wish for all you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow, I'm sure. Much love as always. Source bless. Namaste.
Namaste.